What's going on, everyone? Ronan here, and welcome back to the channel. You guys already know the drill. We got a lot to cover today. But before we do all that, let's give the shout out in the video like we normally do. Vegito What Ifs, thank you very much for your support. And also, check out the analytical stat bar right here. And don't forget to drop a like, a comment, and turn on notifications, and to subscribe to help fuel the algorithm. But with all that being said, let's get into What If Indigo Champion Ash challenged the Johto League, Season 2, Part 10. I hope you enjoy. We begin today's part with Ash and Vincent as they arrive in the next destination in their Johto gym challenge, Mahogany Town. They are looking to challenge the Mahogany Town gym as they both need to secure a badge. With that, they are standing at the doors of their next potential challenge when Vincent pushes on the door excitedly, telling Ash that he's going to take the first battle. However, they are met with a sight that neither one of them were expecting as the doors open and they are met with the sight of victory being declared for a boy they know all too well and the longtime rival of Ash Ketchum, Gary Oak, as his Electabuzz stands victoriously over Lapras. As Price is presenting Gary with the Glacier badge, a loud groan can be heard as it echoes through the gym, causing everyone to turn their gaze to the doors to where Vincent and Ash both stand. Vincent hangs his head as he knows this sight means one thing: he's not going to get a chance to challenge the gym today. However, Ash is more excited to see Gary and the rest of his traveling companions here, as the last time they saw each other was a few months back at the World Cup. This leads into a conversation to where Ash and Gary begin to catch up, completely ignoring Price and everyone else in the room, much to the old man's icy gaze. However, the old rivals are happy to see each other, as this means that Gary and Ash are on the final stretch of their Johto Gym Challenge, which means that they're going to get a chance to meet each other in the finals at the Johto League. However, their excited conversation is interrupted by Price when he tells the two that they're going to have to clear out of the gym. It's closed for the day, as he has already had his gym battle. Gary apologizes, taking a bow to show his remorse for the situation, while Ash can do nothing but stand there and question the old man to who he is. This causes Gary to smack Ash in the back of the head, telling him to pay respect to the Mahagony gym leader, to which the young champion simply takes a bow, apologizing for his rudeness. However, Price simply just lets out a humph as he walks away, leaving his gym attendant to herd all of these kids out of his gym. It's a good thing too, because at this point, Vincent has caught up with both Marina and Ethan, and the noise is becoming more of a loud uproar than anything else, which Price, being an older gentleman, isn't too fond of loud noises. So with the assurance that Price will be able to have another gym battle in the morning, all of our heroes depart from the gym for the Pokemon Center. This leads us to the point to where it's right before sundown, after everyone has eaten. Both Vincent and Ethan are eager to work off their meals, holding both the Pokeballs to their starters in their hand. They have challenged each other to a rematch, and they decide to head outside with Marina in tow, leaving Ash and Gary inside with this unsuspecting person that Ash has never met before. This is where Gary introduced Sammy and explains everything that has been happening. The story that Ash is presented with leaves him a little bit blown away, not because he doesn't believe it, but because he missed out on the chance to meet Celebi, the mythical time-traveling Pokemon. He thinks that it would be so cool to get to see something like that, but alas, he is not fated to, it seems, so he'll just have to simply deal with the memories of all of the other legendary Pokemon that he's got a chance to meet. This is where Sammy inquires if Ash and his friend is here to do this gym challenge that he's been hearing so much about, because where he's from, this isn't really a thing. Ash simply laughs as Pikachu hops on his shoulder, telling Sammy that he sure is. After winning the regional championship back in Kanto, Ash wanted a new challenge. He didn't really know what to do with himself because he thought he had plateaued, but then he heard that Gary was coming out to the Johto region, and because him and Gary are rivals, he couldn't let his rival one-up him, so he decided to come out to Johto as well, so that way he can test his skills against the trainers out here. And Ash hasn't been disappointed. Even though he's a regional champion, he's still getting a challenge out here, and he's getting a chance to experience all new adventures. This is where Sammy questions on what a regional champion actually is, and that's where Gary explains that it's somebody who has managed to make their way through all of the toughest challenges that a region has to offer. First, they have to complete the gym challenge, and then after that, they compete in the Pokemon League. If they can beat all of the other trainers in the league, then they get a chance to challenge that region's Elite Four, and if they have one, a champion. While Ash didn't have to actually battle a champion because Kanto didn't have one at the time, he did make his way through the Elite Four, which, because of that feat, it allowed him to be crowned the champion of their home region. Yeah, and I look to do it again out here in Johto, Ash says, as Pikachu lets off a little spark, signifying that the mouse is on the same page with its trainer. Seeing the passion in both Ash and Gary, it kinda has Sammy a little bit jealous. What a great way for friends and peers to bond. It gives you guys all a common goal, and it allows you to express yourselves in different ways place. I really wish that I had something like this from when I'm from. However, nothing like this really exists. A lot of people don't even actually get a chance to befriend Pokemon from where I'm from. It really comes down to if you actually get a chance to meet one in the wild and they take a liking to you. Wow, that kind of sucks, Ash responds. You see, here in our world, every region has a professor, and it allows you to get a chance to experience Pokemon firsthand. And when you turn 10 years old, they give you a Pokemon to start off with your journey with, and that's what allows you to befriend other Pokemon. That's what happened with me and Pikachu here, Ash says as he rubs the mouse behind the ears. Wow, it's crazy to think about how different things are in just a short amount of time from when I was living to where you guys live now. Things have changed so much. I hope that one day I'll be able to get a chance to actually go home, so that way I can see these things take shape and unfold into what the world will become. Ash tells Sammy not to worry. He's sure about one thing. If Celebi brought him here, then there's a good chance that Celebi is not going to leave without Sammy. So whether it takes days, weeks, months, or years, he will get the chance to go home. So why not just enjoy things while he can? After all, this is kind of like a vacation for him. This turns the boy's brief somber moment into one of excitement as he realizes Ash is actually right. Sammy has gotten a chance to get away and experience new things, which is something that not a lot of people can say. So he might as well enjoy this while he can. The night then fades on with the rest of our heroes just enjoying themselves. The next morning, we find ourselves back in the Mahogany Town gym at the tail end of a gym battle with Price and Vincent. Vincent has already blown through Golduck and Meganium, two of his strongest Pokemon, to which Price made him work for it. However, Price is already on his last Pokemon with Jinx, but little does the old man know, the boy has a secret counter to this, and he's been saving it for just this occasion, just in case his other two Pokemon couldn't quite steamroll over this old man's defenses, to which he reveals when Magneton pops from its ball. The call for the third and final round of this gym battle is given, to which, even though Magneton has the type advantage, Price easily demonstrates his mastery of the ice type by being able to pull off some effective combinations against the steel type, being able to cause a decent amount of damage. He's even momentarily able to freeze the steel type, allowing Price to gain a psychological edge over Vincent, considering he was so confident just moments before. However, Magneton's steel typing is resilient, and it's not going to go down that easily, and this is proven when Vincent's calls can be heard rippling through the ice to the steel type, allowing it to begin to glow in some sort of energy. It has a brief rainbow/metallic aura to it, to which Vincent has never seen. However, Price knows what this is, as his years of experiences in battling has taught him many things, and he knows that he has to close this battle out before it gets a chance to launch this new attack. Unfortunately, Jinx is unable to move fast enough due to the battle that it had with Meganium prior to this one and it being slightly injured. This allows it to be enveloped by the new technique of Magneton Flash Cannon, dropping the ice type and bringing the battle to a close, allowing Vincent his victory for his 7th badge of the Johto region. By this point, Price is a little peeved. All of these kids have showed up and managed to beat him 3 days in a row. These successive losses are really starting to wear on him mentally. However, these thoughts are going to have to be pushed to the back of his mind, as when he's presenting Vincent with his badge, a siren goes off that echoes throughout the entire city. While our heroes are unaware of what this really means, a look of panic crosses both Price and his gym attendant, as Price shoves the badge into Vincent's hand and tells all the kids to stay in the gym in cover and wait for Price to come back. The old man then runs outside of the gym, leaving everyone in a stunned silence. However, the gym attendant tells all the kids that Price is right. They will be back soon, and for their own safety, they need to stay indoors. However, kids will be kids, and curiosity is going to get the best of them. And not only that, but Ash is a regional champion, so whatever danger is going on outside, it's something that he's sure he and his Pokemon can handle. So he ignores this warning, rushing out with Vincent and everybody else in tow. It's here that they are met with the sight of Price running north of the city with his gym attendant following him, and in that direction seems to be smoke and destruction. Now confident that this isn't a false alarm, Ash looks to all of his friends. Though they say nothing, they all know what they have to do as they take off in the same direction as the Ice-type gym leader. It doesn't take long for them to find the source of the distress, as all of the kids with Price and his attendant come to a halting stop as the road is barricaded, and at the forefront is a giant rampaging red serpent. It seems that the local police force have managed to corral the serpent into the river for the time being, but it's attempting to make its way downstream and in the direction of Mahogany Town, where all the citizens live. And if this serpent that everybody's come to realize is a Gyarados is able to make its way into the city, there will be untold destruction. It's here that Price decides that he has to step in, calling on both Lapras and Shellder in an attempt to subdue the savage beast. However, Price isn't going to get the chance to face this alone, whether he likes it or not, as to his dismay, he finds that both Ash and the rest of his team is standing behind him, and they all have their Pokeballs ready. The gym leader tells them to stay out of this. This is Mahogany Town business, and as its gym leader, he will handle it. But Ash tells the old man that he doesn't have a choice. Whether he likes it or not, they are all going to help. This is where we see a parade of Pokemon are chosen, as Ash calls upon both Pikachu and Meganium, while Vincent calls on Magneton and a Pokemon that he hasn't revealed to anyone yet, a Vileplume. Then Team Gary's up, as the Oak chooses both Blastoise and Electabuzz, while Ethan goes with Weepinbell and Sneasel, leaving Marina last as she chooses both Pachirisu and Totodile. All of these well-rounded trainers engage with Gyarados, trying to do their best to subdue the beast without actually hurting it. They don't know what the cause of this rampage is, so they order all of their Pokemon to hold back their attacks, as not to anger it or cause it any actual harm. This just leaves Sammy there to watch in amazement at everything that's happening. The level of power and restraint that all these Pokemon are able to demonstrate, and the bond that they have displayed with each of these humans. It's not something that's widely seen in his time, and he gets to experience it firsthand. The boy doesn't know what it is, but he wants to bring this back to his home. He wants to ensure that the future generations of his world will be able to experience things like these. The bond between people and Pokemon that are formed through love and trust, not just a chance encounter like he had. However, his moments of amazement are interrupted when the truth of the reality begins to set in. Even though Ash and his friends are all powerful trainers, the fact of the matter is them holding themselves back is actually preventing them from actually being able to solve this situation, as Gyarados and its extreme power is able to easily subdue most of the Pokemon, bringing the opposition down to a bare minimum, to where it is just Gary, Blastoise, and Ash and Pikachu standing left to battle him. Ash and Gary both agree that they're going to have to team up if they have any chance at being able to bring this Gyarados down without causing it any major harm. So they do their best engaging with the Serpent, holding back the power of their attacks, but being sure to cause at least critical points of damage to slow the Serpent down. However, while at first this does seem to be working, it is quickly revealed that all they're doing is managing to make Gyarados more angry, causing it to rampage harder as it takes from the river and mounts the land basin right beside it to thrash about even more severe, causing more damage to the surrounding forest. And as Gyarados rampages with its Hyper Beam, Blastoise ends up getting caught in the crossfire, as at the order of Gary, it was defending some of the local police that had gotten caught in the cross lines of Gyarados. This just leaves Ash and Pikachu to stare down the Master of Mayhem, to which the Electric Mouse does have one thing going for it: speed, which allows it to dodge most of Gyarados' attacks. However, where most Pokemon would be tired out by this, for some reason, it seems like Gyarados is being powered by some sort of external force, and as a result, with each missed attack, it just gets angrier and rampages that much harder. It quickly becomes apparent that Ash and Pikachu are not going to be able to hold back from this. All of the other Pokemon have fallen at this point, and Gyarados has caused already untold destruction by destroying local bridges that cross over the river and a lot of the surrounding vegetation and forest area where a lot of Pokemon have made their homes. So Ash tells Pikachu it's time. They need to get in close. They have to make sure that this is a decisive blow. So to use Quick Attack. Everybody watches as the mouse masterfully dances around all of Gyarados' Hyper Beams and Hydro Pumps until it finds itself on top of the Serpent's head, and with one final call, Ash yells to Pikachu to let out the most powerful thunder that it possibly could. The mouse sparks as the snake begins to glow in a yellow hue, as Pikachu unleashes all of the stored up electricity inside of its body, holding nothing back. Moments later, the electric aura around Gyarados fades, as Pikachu falls from its head. It seems that the same effect has been had on the Serpent, as it is slowly wincing in pain, but does not drop. It only begins to rampage harder, as that thunder attack only managed to do one thing, and that's piss it off. And now it is rampaging across the countryside, abandoning its water route, using the land to make its way to Mahogany Town, as it uses Hyper Beam to lay waste to all of the humans and obstacles in its way. Ash and the rest can do nothing but look on, as all of their efforts are failed, and this monstrosity is about to enter Mahogany Town. However, as they begin to lose hope, a command is given from a very familiar voice, as as Hyper Beam is declared. A glowing beam of energy strikes Gyarados broadside, actually having the ability to knock the serpent down for once. The group turns their gaze looking for the source of the energy attack, only to be met with a sight that Ash hasn't seen in almost a year. Lance, he yells, as the Dragon Master sits atop his Dragonite, ready to engage Gyarados in a battle to see who is the true strongest dragon. Lance dismounts Dragonite as he tells everybody to stay back. They will take care of this. What follows is a volley of both hurricanes and outrages from Dragonite as it does its best to avoid any hyper beams and hydro pumps from Gyarados. Dragonite demonstrates its extraordinary speed just as it had when Ash battled it with Charizard. They were barely able to win that battle, Ash thinks to himself, and Dragonite appears so much stronger here. However, everybody just looks on in awe as Lance is able to do the one thing that nobody could, as at the command of a Hyper Beam, Dragonite finally drops the serpent, knocking it unconscious. This brings up the question of what are they going to do with it? They can't just leave Gyarados out, because once it wakes up, it's going to begin to rampage again. However, Lance doesn't give anybody time to actually voice this question, as he readies an Ultra Ball in his hand, throwing it at Gyarados and catching the serpent, as everybody just looks on in amazement at this member of the Kanto Elite Four. This is where we fade to a base that is just off the Lake of the Rage, just north of where everybody's at. And this is where we finally get a chance to catch up with Team Rocket, and more specifically, Jesse, Meowth, and the person that's been commanding them, the Iron Mask Marauder. He is watching from a monitor the events that have just unfolded, as the Gyarados that he set loose has been captured by the one known as Lance. Meowth asks if the Marauder is scared that Lance has gotten involved, since now not only does he have to deal with the champion of the Kanto region, but a member of its Elite Four as well. However, the Marauder simply smiles as he tells Meowth that they won't be a problem. That Gyarados was just an experiment to see how well our weapon actually worked. And I gotta say, I'm quite pleased with the test results of something done on a whim. Now, just imagine if we were to focus its power, the Marauder says, as he turns and we see Celebi inside of a containment unit with a blank expression on its face and some sort of temporal aura dissipating around it. And this is where we are going to leave things for right now. So tell me, how did you feel about this part? Did you enjoy the brief gym battles that we got with Gary and Vincent? How do you feel about Lance's involvement in things, as the rampaging Gyarados almost destroyed Mahogany Town, and not even Ash, the champion of the Kanto region, had what it took to bring this thing down? And also, what's going on with the Marauder? What has he done to Celebi? And what are his plans for the time-traveling Pokemon? Let me know in the comments down below. And that's all we had for today's video. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch all the way to the end, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. If you guys really enjoy my content, consider following me on some of my other platforms like Discord, where you can get to know other people who are interested in what ifs, or on Twitter, where I post sometimes behind the scenes updates. Or if you want to help the channel grow a little bit extra, why don't you consider donating like the people right here have, as whatever you could offer could help us get to a larger audience by helping us get new videos done, or some of the projects that we more custom art is getting kind of expensive. So we want to make sure that we have the funds to do that. But with all that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed everything, and I will see you in the next video.